This is the MSI G255F, and for 10,000 rupees, this here is one of the best gaming monitors that money can buy, because for 10,000 rupees you are definitely getting a lot. Now, I've been using this monitor pretty much for around a month right now, and not only have I tested it for gaming but also for other tasks. So here's my long-term review, and without wasting any precious time, let's begin. So I'll be starting this video with the display first. Now this here is a 25-inch Full HD IPS panel. Now it has a 180Hz refresh rate and comes with AMD FreeSync and all these good features. And let me tell you, for 10,000 rupees, the picture quality that you get from this monitor is definitely good. I am not going to complain. For 10,000 rupees, this here is definitely worth it. The viewing angle is pretty good on this monitor, especially for the price. So if you love watching movies or some videos with your friends and family, then you all are gonna enjoy it. Now for movie watching or watching any videos for that instance, or for gaming or for everyday work purposes, this monitor is pretty good. Now the contrast is a little bit lower. I would suggest you to increase the contrast a little if you want more depth in whatever you are watching, but it's good. The colors are fine. So I did notice that because I have kind of a color accurate monitor, so keeping it side by side, I could notice that, slight greenish tint, but in actual day-to-day gaming you won't notice that. Now talking about gaming, I've had no issues with this monitor. Now especially in the fast-paced games like CSGO and Overwatch, I really didn't face any sort of heavy ghosting or anything. And in one of my favorite games like God of War, this was pretty good. The colors weren't exactly vibrant like I expected an IPS to be, but it's good. It's good for the price, especially for the price. I'm not going to complain here. It is still pretty good. So overall, when it comes to gaming, this monitor definitely does its job well. For this price, I am definitely not going to complain what you're getting here, because you do get high refresh rate. You do get a 1080p panel, not 720p. You get 1080p panel and a 25-inch screen. So all that together is a very good combination for gaming. Now, since we know that this monitor is good for gaming, especially for the price, what about professional work like color accurate work? And for that, I would highly recommend you to stay away from this monitor. Now, even though this is IPS monitor, it definitely is not the best kind of IPS. Creators usually use IPS monitors with very high contrast ratios, with very good panels. All these manufacturers make amazing panels, IPS panels for color accuracy, but here that's not the case. This here is a budget monitor and we can't expect anything high-end. But even if you're planning to buy this as a secondary monitor for your color accurate desk setup, please don't. Even though it's IPS, I would highly recommend don't. Now it has a slight greenish tint to it, but other than that, it's fine. Now in terms of backlight bleeding, I really didn't notice much. There is a very slight small hotspot on the left side of my unit. It can be only my unit's problem. So if you have any in your monitor, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I really didn't notice any, significant light bleeding. So I think that's good. For just 10,000 rupees, I think this here is an amazing panel for the price. Especially it has, these three like nearly borderless sides. So that actually gives it even more better look from the front. It doesn't look old age, it definitely does look modern. So when it comes to display, I would give this a solid 7.5 or even 8 out of 10, because for the price, this here is definitely a really good display. Now with the display out of the way, let's talk about all the other stuff. Now when it comes to build quality, I think this here is okay, because for 10,000 they have to cut corners somewhere. Like I said, that build is good. Okay. Now if you have a wobbly table, definitely expect some wobbling, because it is not the most stable monitor. But if you have a very strong sturdy table, then you need not worry. But if you don't, then you might have to worry a bit. Now one thing I like is that even though this has kind of a very gamery look, it's not overdone. There's no flashy red or blue or anything like that. It's just different shades of black, matte and glossy plastic. So I think the design is kind of more on the minimal side, even though it looks gamery, but I really don't like the look of the stand, especially the bottom feet. It kind of looks very awkward. I mean, you might like it, but I really don't. But other than that, in terms of build, I think this just gets the work done. Now here you get only tilt, no sort of height adjust or anything, and for 10,000 rupees we really should not be expecting that. But you do have a waist amount, so if you have a multifunctional monitor arm, then you can just put this on that and do all the height adjust and tilt and swivel and or whatever you want. Now in terms of connectivity, you get HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.2. Now the good thing is that both these ports support 1080p at 180 Hz. So no matter which port you're going to go with, you will definitely get 180 Hz refresh rate at 1080p. Now one thing that I didn't like about this monitor was the positioning of the on-screen control joystick was at the back, but it was not like exactly at a very comfortable position. Now especially if you have a very big table, it's kind of hard to reach out very far and search for it and then use the on-screen control. So that was not my favorite positioning. But when you're talking about the on-screen controls itself, you do get a really good selection of features that you can turn off or turn on, and the essentials that you can control, like the brightness control, saturation, things like that. This is a 10,000 rupee monitor and these controls are good enough. And with that said, for 10,000 rupees, the MSI G255F is an amazing gaming monitor. Now, as I mentioned before, please stay away from this if you're looking for color accurate productivity based monitors, because this ain't it cheap. But for the rest of the things, this monitor definitely gets the job done really well. Now if you're someone who's getting into the world of esports and wants to become a pro, I would suggest going with this, because initially don't spend a lot of money on expensive gaming monitors. I would say try it out with this and then move ahead, because for this price, this here is really amazing. And sometimes this comes as low as 8,500 rupees, and for that, this here is an even more killer deal. So if you are interested in this monitor, I'll have the links to this in the description below. Make sure you check it out. So thank you for watching, and this here is Suman signing off once again. Catch you later.